everybody. Welcome to GeekdomMOVIES. I'm Shannon, and these are my co-hosts Fahad
Hello.
and George.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us today, and happy 2020. It's going to be the new year in just a couple of days here. We're all very excited. Thank you for being with us through 2019. We're gearing up for a new year here, a lot of new movies coming out soon. And today we are going to share with you our top 10 favorite movies of the year.
Yeah! End of 2019. I think I just wanted to say thank you to Shannon and George for joining me in this endeavor. When I started GeekdomMOVIES, I didn't know who I was going to talk to, who wanted to do this crazy idea with me where we review movies and talk movies. But Shannon was the first person I talked to. You were living in North Carolina at the time.
At the time, yes.
And I was like, hey, I have this crazy idea, and I don't know if you're going to be back in Michigan or not, but maybe. And you were like, no, I'm moving back to Michigan, because you only lived there for, what, 6 months?
I was only there for 6 months, kind of an extended vacation type of a thing. So
yeah.
I said, yep, I'm in. Sign me up. I want to review movies with you, since I've been a big fan of movie reviews for at least 10 years now. And
you had your own separate YouTube channel where you were doing Disney movies.
I do have my own separate YouTube channel, which I wasn't posting on very consistently, so thank you, Fahad, for keeping me honest.
Yeah. And I met George. We met each other through mutual friends way back, like, I don't even know. Was it this summer or last summer?
I thought it was last summer.
We met last summer and then kind of became friends.
Yeah,
we didn't really get close until this summer.
This summer, yeah.
And I remember we were just talking random movie stuff, like talking about Aladdin and Lion King Endgame coming out.
Yeah.
And you were like super interested, and you told me how much you loved movies. And then I presented this idea, like, hey, I'm starting to
actually. It would have been last summer, then, because we watched that at the start of this year.
Well, our first official review, we did a test run, which was terrible. I didn't even post it. It was our Endgame review. It was dark. It was weird. Like, we didn't really know what we were doing. And then our big official review was when Shannon got back into town. And Aladdin was our first review. Gosh, time flies. That was like May of 2019.
Yeah, it's been almost 9 months.
9 months.
Crazy.
And, we've been working on this movie channel, movie reviews for 2019. So we're going to send off 2019, our first year, and we're going to do our top 10 movies of 2019, which I'm really excited to talk about. But I just want to say thank you to you guys for being part of this channel, for subscribing, for commenting, for liking, bringing discussion to the YouTube channel and to our website. I want to thank these guys for being part of it, and we're just having so much fun. I feel like there's so much chemistry now between us, between like movie reviews and stuff. So yeah, we have big plans for 2020. Big news. Even though this is our studio, we might be changing to a different location because George has some big news for 2020. What's going on, George?
So I'm moving into a new house. So
as am I.
And I was gonna go to you next, but George, tell us about your new house, how we can do recordings there, what it's gonna look like.
Well, as far as I know, it's currently unfinished, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of construction work there, but hopefully I would say probably within less than a month, it should be good.
Less than a month?
Yeah. And even from when we move in.
Even then, we could just put a table down with a curtain and set it up.
Yeah,
even if it's not finished, we just need a background. So look out for that. We as George moves and see what happens, and then Shannon.
I'm moving as well. I just bought my first house.
Where at?
Madison Heights, Michigan.
Woo! So does that have a basement, or are you gonna rent it out?
It does have a basement, but my house is gonna be rented out to a couple of renters. So.
Oh, okay. Did you find anybody yet?
I'm talking to somebody that I think will be moving in, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still in my condo with my wife, and we love it too much to want to move, but hey, So 2020, I feel like, is going to be the year where we're going to hit 1,000 subscribers.
We want to hit 1,000 subscribers early in the year, so share this video with 1,000 of your closest friends.
Your mom, your dad, your coworkers, your friends, your boss, your sister, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend, ex-husband, ex-wife.
Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram.
Remember that bully that bullied you? Tell him or her why you should join GeekdomMOVIEs, and they should be nicer to you.
Forgive you for bullying me, and
Yeah.
also watch GeekdomMOVIes.
If you watch GeekdomMOVIes, you'll be less of a bully and more of a nice person. Because when we disagree, we don't fight.
That's true.
We just disagree.
True.
And say your opinion is wrong, and then we move on. No, but really, like, you know, I like that we can have a friendly discussion when we disagree on movies, and we're not like getting upset or angry.
That's one of the wonderful things about movie reviews is you can disagree and fight all you want. You're still friends at the end of it.
Well, some people aren't, but we are.
Yep.
We choose to not let our opinions and the ideas of like how much movies mean to us go against movies. Now, if you're talking about cats or dogs, if you love cats or dogs, I'm gonna say dogs. And if you're a cat person, get out of my house. Let's kidding. Or if you went to go see Cats, you should get a refund. Oh, Shannon, you saw Cats actually.
I did see Cats. We're going to be talking about Cats
Down
pretty
there,
soon here.
yeah,
So
down
that
the
will
road.
be in the next video we release.
Yeah.
So we're going to be reviewing Uncut Gems, Cats, Spies in Disguise, a couple other movies. Keep an eye out the next couple of days here in the new year. But with that being said, let's get into some of our top 10 movies for the year.
Yes.
Mine's going to be very easy.
No, don't
all
start.
top 10,
Oh,
or
okay.
it's all cats. Just
Oh,
kidding.
God. You got me. You got me so well. I was like, no, we're doing honorable mentions
So
first.
my list is done? I know, just kidding. No, Cats did not make my top 10 list. Fahad's going to start us off here. We've got some honorable mentions.
Yes. So before I get started, these aren't the 10 greatest movies I saw in 2019. These all aren't going to win Oscars. Some of you may not even like these movies. This is just my opinion. My opinion stands two ways. It is whether it has reviewable ability, meaning like I'll watch it again,
Okay.
even though I've seen it once or twice. Will I ever sit down and watch it again? The second thing is, even if I don't watch it again, how much it stayed with me and I thought about the movie.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of movies twice, but that doesn't mean I didn't love them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just how I do my movies. You have your own movies. Shannon and George have their own movies. And actually, after you guys are done listening to our movie top 10, write down in the comment section what your top 10 movies of 2019 were. And we'd love to hear from you guys as well. And whether you disagreed with our...
Tell us why those were your top 10 as well.
Yes. And tell us why you disagree with us. We love discussion. We love, with movies, there's never a wrong answer. You could come out and say... Cats was the greatest movie in the world and it's your favorite movie of all time. And you would be right for saying that because it's all
your
opinion
Yep,
and what
true.
you like.
No right or wrong.
There's no right or wrong. And that's the beauty of movies. Like,
Definitely.
everyone has their own preference, what they like or don't like, and everyone gets to win. Everybody wins the lottery when it comes to movies because, and then, so well, actually, Shannon, let's have you start off first. So did you have any honorable mentions?
I had one honorable mention, Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
This movie did not make my list because it did feel like it was tacked on to the series and didn't really continue the story.
Oh, poor Woody with his beautiful ending.
I wasn't as happy about what they did to Buzz Lightyear, but I thought that there was some really strong things in the movie. Bo Peep, the way they revamped her character and made it feel natural was really interesting to me.
I do love the reunion of Woody
The reunion was nice, especially this movie made the list for that scene where they're in the rain. The animation in that scene where Buzz and Bo Peep are in the rain and are trying to decide if they should stay together or not was absolutely gorgeous. And there's a few other shots in that movie where the animation was just above and beyond anything I'd seen. So, honorable mention for 2019, Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4. George, did you have any honorable mentions?
I do. So there was one random movie that I went to go watch. This was, I think, right around the start of when we were doing reviews. I can't even recall whether or not I did a review for this movie or not. But The Art of Self-Defense, believe it or not.
Oh, I did want to see that.
It's actually a rather interesting, good kind of I don't know, suspense thriller sort of movie.
Yeah.
And it's it has a very quirky character in it, but nonetheless, I consider that a very interesting movie, and because of that, it's honorable mention for me.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. So is that it?
Yeah.
Oh okay. So for me, I had actually a really tough time with this list because I really love movies. I love all kinds of movies. As long as it's a movie that I can get into, I don't care if it's kidsy or animated. I don't care if it's a comedy or a horror. I don't care if it's like romantic
You'll
or
watch
period.
anything.
I'll watch anything
Except
as long
cats.
as except for cats, which I can't say. I might love it. I don't know. I've never seen Cats, but it's just fun to talk about. But like these are the movies that I had 4 honorable mentions. The ones,
Oh wow.
and these 4 almost made it to the list. So don't think like like they're not good or I didn't like them. It just means like for the top 10, I had to narrow it down to like 10 movies that I really like had more of an effect on me than these. So again, you might actually get these movies on your top 10 list, which is totally understandable. But for me, it just didn't make the cut at the end. You know, it's like if I had top 20 or top 15, it would have. So the first one is Joker. I'm sure a lot of people will put Joker in their top 10 list. We might even have Joker in this list with Jordan Shannon. You never know because I haven't heard their list. But for me, my biggest issue with Joker is that it is I want, and I'm stubborn about it, and I know people think like, oh, just let that go, but I want the true origins of the Batman Joker movie. Yes, the chemicals and the cartooniness, all the other origins, and like what Heath Ledger did was take like parts, and Christopher Nolan did in The Dark Knight was like take parts from the comics and kind of influences. This movie is not the Joker. It is an idea of who Joker could be. Even Todd Phillips, who is the director and writer, has said like he is just the transformation of who Joker becomes, or another Joker comes in. This is not the actual Joker from the comics. So for me, as much as I love the cinematography, as much as I love the acting, as much as I think it has a lot to say about mental illness, all those things, for me, even with all of that, it just doesn't make the cut. And I kind of feel sad about it because I really thought Joker was going to make my top 10. And, you know, I can't get into it. But that's okay. You might, and they might, and anybody can. But for me, that's the biggest reason. My second movie is, I loved it. It almost actually made top 10, very close. I just had to switch it out at the end because something else. Like I remember Marriage Story with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yes, I want to see that.
And who plays Kylo Ren? I keep getting the actor's name.
Adam Walker.
Yes.
What is it? Adam Driver?
No, Adam Driver. Adam Driver. Yeah, there was.
Some sort of an
Oh my God.
Some sort of verb.
I actually do love this movie. I think the acting is so good, and Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson are such great actors. And when you take away all the special effects and all the other big movies, when it's just them, like the only thing that movie can sell you on is acting and acting alone. Like they deliver like a lot. In fact, I'm shocked it didn't make my top 10 because I love that movie so much. But I would highly suggest you guys check it out. It's on Netflix. I'm 90% sure Adam Driver is going to get nominated. Scarlett Johansson is going to get nominated for an Oscar. I'm pretty sure it's even going to get nominated for Best Picture. Will it win it? I have no idea. So, great movie. Great all around. Alita Battle Angel is my next one, and I have one more left. Alita was so good.
About that.
Yeah, like it was so close. It was so close. But the thing that took me out of that movie was like it didn't really have an ending. Everything else was really great.
I'm waiting on a sequel.
and I don't know if we're gonna get it. And it just kind of, it's like it just ends abruptly. Like you feel like you're in the middle of a story in Alita. Everything is good. Special effects. The story is good. The acting is great. The girl who plays Alita is so good as that character. But yeah, the ending's the thing that took me out of it because I want the full story. And I don't like it abruptly ending like that. The next movie is almost close, made it, Lego Movie Part 2. I think Chris Pratt is so brilliant. Oh my gosh, he is so good. He's playing 3 versions of himself. He's playing one version where he's from Lego Movie Part 1. The second version is his character from Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's
I
like
haven't seen that.
he's a raptor. He controls raptors,
that
and he's a
sounds
badass.
hilarious.
And his other character is kind of a surprise, not trying to ruin it, but his third character is a future version of him from the future, and it all works, and you believe every single scene Chris Pratt is in. The music, the cinematography, the art direction is so great. I would put Lego Movie Part 2 even above like a lot of other movies I saw that were great. And last thing I wanted to say about Lego Movie Part 2 was that ending kills me. It is so well done.
Oh, I have to see it now.
Oh my gosh! Like I remember, like my wife and I, we saw Lego Movie Part 2. I was like, oh yeah, it came out. I like the first one. We were speechless by that ending because it was such a heart wrenching, like gut punch, and it's such a great message for kids. Have you seen Lego Movie Part 2, George? Do you know the ending I'm talking about? Like
no
where
spoilers.
I can't remember it
okay.
anymore.
I won't spoil it here, but the last 20 minutes are just. You guys have seen Lego Movie Part 1 at least, right?
Yeah.
So you know how Will Ferrell comes down and there's this great moment, and like you're like, wow, that was, I did not see that coming. Like that was beautiful, very like emotional, exactly what you wanted. Number 2 has that ending in spades. Like how good that ending is. Like me and Stephanie were just like speechless. Like I want to spoil it, but I just wanted to call my sister and like talk to her after that movie. Like it makes you appreciate your siblings. It's a really great story. You know what I'm talking about now? Like that ending now. Oh God, it's so good.
It's what Playmobil tried and failed to do.
Oh really? I haven't seen it. But...
they did actually try to, actually with siblings too.
Oh,
but they combined with Playmobil. It was almost like they tried to combine both those movies into one. Okay. So it was the parent acting as it was the sibling who had to act as the parent.
Oh.
Had a tragic opening. I was shocked out of my mind that any movie would have that tragic of an opening. Yeah. But, especially a kids movie.
Wow. The parents die.
Yes, the parents die right off the bat, and like me and my buddy, we actually showed up a little late to that movie, so we walked into the theater.
And we sit down. The original Jumanji.
I don't recall. No, they don't, because they were gone. They weren't like gone, but they were out at an event.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So like that's why they weren't there for the original Jumanji.
Oh.
But no, with that particular one, it was like we walk in, we sit down, his brother and sister are playing with toys with each other.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden these police officers come up to the door and let them know that their parents died, and you're just like, what? What is this? How can a movie start this way? This is so terrible. So we had a rough time with that movie, but
oh gosh, yeah.
It works a little better in the Disney movies. That's how every Disney movie starts.
Well, I think Disney knows how to like play the emotional strings and the funny and
their parents. At least they still have their parents. Their parents are dead.
All right, we should move on though. Okay, Shannon, hit us up. What is your number 10 movie?
Number 10 was Rise of the Skywalker.
Okay.
I had to catch up on all the Star Wars movies because I hadn't seen them in so long, but I thought Rise of the Skywalker was really good. I love having a female Jedi. It was awesome. I didn't even know that I wanted to see that until I saw it. So Rey is just such a fantastic actress. She really carries the whole movie.
Daisy Ridley, yeah.
I didn't even care about any of the other characters. Daisy Ridley carries that entire movie, so I thought that was great. Number 10.
Yeah, and then I would say Adam Driver again.
Adam Driver was really great, and then that kiss at the end between the two of them. Spoilers.
Spoilers. Oh, guys, like this whole.
We're spoiling.
It's spoiling everything. Yeah.
Like if we say a movie and you haven't seen it, just fast forward it. I'll put timestamps on the bottom so you can jump across it. But yeah.
And we'll put spoiler warning in the title. But yeah, so that kiss at the end with Rey and Adam Driver was a nice little emotional touch.
Yeah. All right, George.
All right.
Number 10 for George.
I gotta recall what this was.
And you forgot.
For me, Jumanji: The Next Level.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
For that movie, the reason why it's on my top 10 is because for that one, I really did not expect it to be that interesting.
Yeah.
It really was quite unexpected how good it was. So for
My
that,
joints feel like butter.
I'll watch anything with Danny
And
DeVito.
Anything with Danny DeVito.
seeing all of them play as
Yeah.
these other like actors,
That
Yeah.
was pretty
that
funny.
was so cool. I thought that was great, and that really made me
And that ending.
keep that in mind.
Watching
Yeah.
The Rock play Danny
Yeah.
DeVito and vice versa. It's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's number 10 for George's Jumanji. For mine is Hustlers.
Aha, yes. Great
Movie that I didn't really know what I was walking into, except I heard J-Lo worked her butt off for
Literally.
this movie, literally, because
Literally.
like, ha, yeah. The thing that I like about Hustlers is it's a movie that has characters, and you really like I got so emotionally involved with the Asian girl J-Lo and all these girls who are like, they're trying to make ends meet. They're trying to raise their daughters. They're trying to raise their kids. They're trying to provide for their family and their grandmas and just have a life, but they just didn't get the opportunity in time where they could have like really built their career. And you really see it, and you really like when people can take somebody who's the bad guy or bad girl in this case, and what they're doing is wrong, but you sympathize with what they're doing and how they're doing it and how messed up it is. It's a movie that has really stayed with me.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
made me really
Think.
really think about these women in those kind of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these girls, like
They're
if I
judged
was
pretty harshly.
like if I was walking by those girls, I'd be like, oh, disgusting. Like
Right.
I would be like very judgmental towards them, and this movie makes me feel like, no, they're human beings,
Trying to survive.
and they're trying to survive, and what they're going through to survive is, and how men treat them. I'm sure in those positions, it's not easy. So yeah, like it just I am like they did such a good job. I know it's based on a book. It's during the recession when the market crashed, and these girls. It's all true story. These people really exist, and you get that moment where like where J-Lo's character does go to jail, and then like the journalist asks her like, hey, she still has a picture of the Asian girl in her wallet or like her purse or whatever, and she still like loves her even though she sent her to jail to protect her daughter,
Yeah,
but yet
it's
like,
complicated.
and when the journalist says like, hey, like you should call her, you should call J-Lo, and then like the Asian, I forgot the Asian girl's name, but she starts crying because you could just feel like the connection they have, even though they're probably mad at each other. They're probably like gone through some really tough things, and they backstab one another, but yet at the end of it they still love each other. It just it's such a powerful story.
I'll probably watch that one again.
Yeah, and which is saying a lot, because like if you were ever to just go up to someone and be like, oh yeah, like Hustlers was great, it's like, wow,
A
you're
movie about strippers.
like what's wrong with you? But it's not glorifying it. There are moments where you do see things, but it's maintained within the.
It doesn't make you think it's glamorous.
It's done in a way that's really to show like who these girls are, what they're going through, how hard they work. So for me, Hustlers, like very surprised that it's in there. But yeah, if you guys haven't had a chance, it's on DVD, Blu-ray, streaming now. Give it a chance. Obviously, if you have a wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, older, mature, I would say 16 or older at least.
Oh, at least.
At least.
Yeah, probably 21 and up.
But it has a great story.
Community.
You're gonna realize how great these characters and how wonderful the acting is. So yeah. All right, that's my number 9, Shannon.
You guys are gonna be shocked it didn't make it higher on the list. Frozen 2.
Oh.
I liked it a lot, and I liked the soundtrack is the reason that it made it on this list.
Okay.
I couldn't stop listening to the soundtrack for like 2 weeks afterwards.
Into the unknown.
So good. The music is phenomenal. The plot doesn't make any sense. I did see it twice. I saw it in
The plot doesn't make any sense.
The
Oh
plot-
yeah, it doesn't.
The plot doesn't make any sense.
I'm still upset about that actually.
I really wish that they would have given this one more re-edit or one more rewrite so that
Just a more clear-cut answer to something, like, it just kind of open-ended.
Yeah, and I hated the fact that it separated Anna and Elsa when the whole point of the first movie was to get them together.
I know.
But the soundtrack in and of itself was phenomenal, and I've been listening to it, and I have the whole thing memorized.
It's still a good movie.
The four songs that were cut from the movie were great. So
really?
Yeah, I Seek the Truth. Olaf's got a song called Unmeltable Me, which is hilarious. There was 4 songs that were cut from the movie that are included in the soundtrack, and they're all great.
I'm glad they put them in the soundtrack, though, so we could at least hear it, even if it's not in the movie.
I think it was like a situation of they couldn't really find a good place to put them in the movie, even though they were great songs.
Some of them were redundant. It's funny, though, a lot of the merchandising has words from the songs that were cut from the film.
Oh, God.
You'll see these t-shirts that say,
what?
You see t-shirts that say, like, seek your own path, and, like, those are lyrics from songs that are no longer in the movie, but they were cranking out merchandise trying to get this movie out before Christmas. So,
Wow.
I wish that they would have just taken their time with it. If they needed to release it in another year, that would have been fine with me. Get it right and do it right, but it did make my top 10 because
a lot of our
phenomenal.
spoiler talk was about that, like how it just it just tried to set up a third one when it just could have completed the second story.
And I hope the third one is perfect, and then I'll completely forgive the second one.
Yeah.
If there's a great third movie, I'll be perfectly happy with the second
Though
one.
I gotta say, the whole Native American and like the history of Poland and the native and being in Netherlands or
Norway.
What country it is. It went from like, it's okay to like higher up even in my list. I had a better rating.
They didn't give the Native American, Native Norwegian people like anything to do.
Yeah. That's true too.
They didn't do anything.
I'm just glad it's there because it came out perfectly for Thanksgiving, and it's a good lesson for teenagers and kids to be like, hey, just because they're different.
If they know about it.
Right, they don't
that's
really.
That's the problem. They don't really like. There's not a huge reference.
Right, I had
to
to research just to find out that's what it was about. Like,
exactly.
Okay, now, but most regular audiences, unless you're watching this or done the research like us, you're not really gonna know. That makes sense. George.
Okay, for me, number 9, I have Knives Out.
Oh,
Knives Out.
Dude.
So,
how did I forget that one? It was so good.
It was. It was.
I can't believe
so, for me, like, the reason why Knives Out is there, I don't know if it needs an explanation why it's on the top 10. Because it was just, it was so good. And,
I hear you.
Just such an amazing suspense and really crime thriller drama or whatever it was. It was just great.
It was great.
It was.
Really. The
amazing acting.
Just
phenomenal.
I just crossed one of my other ones out and put Knives Out on there.
Really?
Yes. Yes. I can't believe I didn't put Knives Out on the list. So I'm making that change right now.
Okay, so tell us what movie that was on the list that you took out now.
I took off Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That's a really good movie.
It's a really good movie. So now Spider-Man Homecoming is now one of my honorable mentions. And
Yeah.
Knives Out is taking the 6th place.
Okay. All right. So anything else you wanted to add? Nope, that's it.
That's about it.
All right, number 9 for me was the first review we did at GeekdomMOVIES, and I have seen it now at least 4 times, I would say. Aladdin was so good. Yeah. It's not in other people's favorite movie list, which is fine. If it didn't work for you, it didn't work for you. I love that it's all Egyptian actors. Mm-hmm. I love the genie isn't like some white actor, but it's actually someone like Will Smith. And everybody's playing their part really well. Everybody's Middle Eastern. Thank you, Disney, for keeping that, like, origins and Middle Eastern.
An authentic
all
cast.
It shows.
I'm Middle Eastern, so I appreciated that as well.
Yeah, you're Lebanese. I'm Pakistani.
My sister
right?
actually did audition for the part of Jasmine.
Oh, okay.
Or
wow.
sent in an audition tape for it because she's Middle Eastern, but she doesn't look Middle Eastern.
Yeah, I was gonna say
to get the part.
Molly looks completely white, but she is Middle Eastern, like you said.
She didn't quite look enough Middle Eastern to get the part, but she is Middle Eastern.
Right.
25%.
I love the music. The banter between Will Smith and Aladdin it's just so good. It's like, we brought jam, and And I love the Will Smith's
Make
line.
me a prince.
Yeah, I like the line that kills me every time I watch it. It's my favorite line. It's like, I like in the lamp. It is cold and it is dark, and I am alone. But I'd rather be there right now than this awkward moment of you talking about. You know, that whole is so
That
good.
was hilarious.
Will Smith, that was
And then
funny.
and then the dance sequence with Prince Ali. Oh my gosh, I like it's so good. It is just such a good like music number. The music is great. The costumes are great.
Never had a friend like me.
The Jasmine is hot. I don't know how else to say that except she's drop dead gorgeous.
She's pretty. She
And
has a nice
Aladdin
song.
is also, if you're female or gay or whatever have you, like he's hot too. I'm not just saying Jasmine is hot, and you know Will Smith is Will Smith. Who doesn't love Will Smith? And everything, and Jasmine's new song
It was pretty good.
was damn. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know
I
it was
don't
gonna be in
remember
there,
it, but it was good.
but I do because I've seen it 4 times. So
Yeah.
that's a whole other story. But yeah, Aladdin is my number 9. All right,
Okay.
number 8 for Shannon.
Again, you guys will be surprised it's not higher, but Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh shoot.
Which
No, man.
Yeah, you might have to cross me out.
Oh.
I've seen it twice now because my family had to go see it for Christmas Day. We went and saw it, and it was a.
Oh no, I did put it in.
It's
there.
lower. It's lower on my list because it was a hard sit the second time to get through, especially with the dad dying at the end.
Yeah.
That last 30 minutes of it is rough, but the first like hour and a half are really, really great to watch. They're rewatchable. And I don't care about cars at all. I don't care much about Ford or Ferrari, but the way that they tell the story is really interesting, even if you're not into cars.
So I did
That
put mine
was-
in there. I thought I didn't. I just had to switch it with something
Yeah,
else.
I didn't think you'd miss that one.
No.
Ford is number 8.
All
All
right.
right,
Just wearing a Ford
George.
Yep.
What you got?
All
What you got?
right.
What you got?
For me, number 8 is Joker.
Oh yeah.
So
I figured one of you would have that in the list.
So for me, the reason why it's such a big hit, honestly, because it has so much to say about really mental health and
It's so
Just-
well done.
it
Just on
is.
that side alone, yeah.
It was a hard
And-
sit. It was dark.
it
But
was
if you
extremely
can
dark.
sympathize, I mean, if you
That's
sympathize
that's
with
my
Joker,
favorite kind of movie though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, it was extremely
nerve-wracking,
yes,
anxiety.
it caused a lot of anxiety, which I
Yeah.
thought was incredible that a movie could do that. I've never
Yeah.
been to any movie that could cause that much anxiety.
Right.
I've been to ones where like you're just freaked out, but
yeah.
but not like just anxious like that. I mean
Yeah.
that was amazing that they were able to pull that off.
And the music and the cinematography, the acting,
Yeah.
everybody is just top-notch level. The
Absolutely.
80s and the trash and everything that's going on, and like it was just
It was
so good.
amazing.
Yeah. All right, number 8 for me is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I'm surprised that didn't go higher on your list.
You know, it's too long.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's so good.
It's really good, and it still made my list.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's there, but I think Brad Pitt is just a revelation. Like, he is eating up the screen.
Oh
I guess.
yeah, he's great. So is
Um,
Leo.
And so is Leo, but really Brad Pitt
Yeah.
is just so good. Margaret Robbie just didn't have anything to do.
She's great in everything, but she didn't.
It's
have
like
a character.
Bombshell. She's just there.
I
and
thought she was
she's-
great in Bombshell.
She's great in Bombshell,
Yeah.
and she's great in Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
But it's not about her. She's just kind of like, at a certain point, I feel like what they're doing and saying is, oh, she's really hot, so we're gonna have her in the movie, but we're not really gonna give her like a whole, like a meaty
It
role.
wasn't. The movie wasn't about Sharon Tate.
It was the.
It was, but it wasn't about her character.
I
That's
understand.
true.
It's
Honestly,
just-
I'm a little shocked with some of the scenes they actually threw in there that they really didn't have to.
Right.
Like they did try to put her in there. I feel like as much as they possibly could for the
Right.
perspective they wanted.
Yeah.
But that was yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot for her to do.
No, and I think the person that really stands out in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for me is the little girl with
She
Leonardo
was
DiCaprio.
amazing.
She was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her in anything else since then. I hope.
Well, she's. I mean, yeah.
I hope she gets some more stuff.
I'm sure she will, but it's a movie. I mean, I still love it. I think it's too long, and I think the ending's goes a little too far. But I don't know. I don't know.
I can't complain. It went great.
You just loved it.
I just loved it.
And
I couldn't think of how more perfect that could be.
I just don't think it's the best Quentin Tarantino movie, but
Probably
I think
not.
it's still a really good Quentin Tarantino movie. So
Absolutely.
that's yeah, okay. I don't have anything else to say. Great movie, number 8, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All right, Shannon.
Number 7. Well, I took off Spider-Man: Homecoming and I added Knives Out.
Okay. To your number 7. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, number 7. Knives Out was fantastic. I really enjoyed the movie. Didn't get higher on the list for this reason. I thought that the plot, they sold the plot for it being like Clue the movie with a really good, interesting plot line that would involve all of these characters. They sold me on that in the trailer, and that is not what I got. If they hadn't sold me on that in the trailer, I probably would have liked this movie a lot more.
Yeah.
But I went in expecting to be solving a murder mystery, and instead I was watching a character, and I already knew what happened about half an hour into the movie.
Yeah.
They give away the whole thing. Movie is phenomenal. Plot is phenomenal. Acting is phenomenal. But it wasn't what I expected when I walked in, and I think that made the experience not as high as it could have been for me.
Okay. So number 7 was Knives Out. All right, George, what is your number 7?
All right, for me it is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Hey!
So yeah, for me it was just a little bit higher up the list, I guess.
Just a little bit, just by 1.
Yeah. It was just great acting all around.
I forgot to mention the guy who plays Bruce Lee, because there's just so many good acting in that movie. You forget so many people, but he's so great too.
Yeah, there were a lot of people that were kind of upset about that. No,
I mean, I
can understand, but you know, it's like if at the same time though, you know, Quentin Tarantino probably actually knew him in that time and just knew like the whole what he was like, or had a perspective of what he was like, and I'm sure that's what he was sharing.
Yeah.
And that's it's just, I mean, you can't blame him for sharing his perspective. So.
Right.
But,
absolutely.
But yeah, it was a really good movie.
Yeah.
Just, you know,
God, that cinematography
a dream
alone.
of an ending.
Yeah, like
so.
Just I love the time setting and the car through Hollywood while they're just like, you know, it's slow and there's too many of it, but it is a beautiful movie at the same time. So.
I think I might have nearly fallen asleep during that movie because, like, you know, it was long.
It is long.
It was long. I think I had just gotten out of work. It was like in the middle of summer, and I was like, you know, we don't have a whole lot of air conditioning where I work, so I mean, I was tired. I was tired.
Yeah. All right, number 7 for me is Ford versus Ferrari.
Yes. So good.
Christian Bale. I saw it twice.
Noah Jupe, the little kid. He's a phenomenal actor.
I just love Christian Bale. He's completely becomes that person in real life.
Yeah.
Matt Damon is so good. Their chemistry between those two is off the chains. So many amazing just scenes, iconic moments, like Ford getting in the car and then him like driving forward and making him realize how fast.
That was so great. I had no idea.
Oh my gosh, so great. You really feel for them because there's like they're trying to beat Ferrari, but they're also trying to like fight Ford, like against the corporation that is Ford.
Red Tape the movie.
Yeah, it's the movie that made me feel like this is the first race car driving movie where I felt like it wasn't just. It was like you felt like you were in the car. It wasn't like
they're turning left again.
Yeah.
Turning left again.
There's so many things that movie does right.
It's way better than Cars 2.
I don't think I ever saw Cars 2. But
I haven't either.
Yeah, but I I just think it's the movie is just so well, and like just the history of Ford and Detroit.
Being from Detroit
And
is interesting to
Stephanie,
watch.
Stephanie, Shannon, turn off your phone.
Let's turn it off.
If you heard me say Stephanie, I said that to Stephanie. Turn off your phone.
I can see that.
But yeah, Matt Damon and Christian Bale, just amazing. The sets and the race car like tracks and the feel of just like that sequence when they're actually in Italy talking to the owner of Ferrari, and you get so angry at Ferrari. You're like, don't you dare talk about Ford like that, you know? And like what it stands for, what Ford did. Just an all-around great movie. Go see it. Even if you don't like cars, even if you don't, care about, the history or whatever, just, it's such a great
If you think
film.
you don't care about cars, this movie might change your mind.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, number 6, Sharon.
All right, this one I know is not on either of your lists, and you're gonna probably be curious as to why the heck I put it on my list. But Honey Boy, it's number 6 on my list.
That might be on my top 10 worst movies of 2019. But hey, all movies are subjective.
They are, and I didn't know about Shia LaBeouf's childhood. I learned all about it in this film. I thought it was a really interesting, well-made, well-done film.
It is. That is true.
It was fascinating. It was dark, but I think the acting pulled it through. Noah Jupe stole my heart in this movie. He is so freaking adorable and cute, and when he is acting, I 100% believed him.
That's true.
He also was in Ford versus Ferrari,
yeah.
and he was also in Wonder. If you guys are wondering where you know him from, he was the little friend in Wonder. So I hope he's got a long career ahead of him because he is a phenomenal actor.
I also give credit to Shia LaBeouf for writing and producing that movie.
I almost forgot that it was Shia LaBeouf because he so becomes that character
like his
of
dad.
Right?
Yeah.
I actually completely forgot it was Shia LaBeouf playing Shia LaBeouf's dad.
Shia LaBeouf.
But I think the fact that he was willing to not only write this movie, produce it, let the story come out there, and then star in it himself must have been really hard for Shia LaBeouf to do, and yet he did it. I guess I'm a sucker for like the semi-abusive parents who are trying stories because I, Tanya is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I loved everything about it. I don't know that I need to watch it again because it was a long sit and it's sad and it's depressing, but I love movies that star kids, and this one just stole my heart.
Oh my gosh, I love experimental films, so I appreciate it for that reason.
Definitely experimental.
Like, watching Uncut Gems, Lighthouse are just so wacky and weird movies.
Oh, the other one that's similar to this is Florida Project, one of my favorite movies of all time. That's another parent who's somewhat abusive but is trying their hardest. So that,
Who's in that?
That one has 2 completely unknown actresses. The little girl who was in it, I can't remember her name. The 6-year-old girl who played Mooney in that movie is about to be in a horror movie that you're probably going to see. Her face has been on the posters everywhere. So she's getting a name for herself now. But Florida Project, yeah. So this would be a really good trilogy. I, Tanya, Honey Boy, and Florida Project, which are 3 of my favorite movies that have come out in the last couple of years.
Sweet. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks, Shannon. George, number 6.
So for me, for number 6, I got Midway.
I never saw it.
Yeah.
Midway was
movie?
about the Battle of Midway. Well, yeah, war horror.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah. I'm not into war movies. I haven't seen a good one yet.
We're all seeing 1917 when it comes out.
Yes.
You're gonna love it.
I love it
I
already.
can't get into war movies.
I am. It's growing on me quite a bit just through trailers. But yeah. So with me, like watching like a real like movie about the Battle of Midway, that was huge for me.
Do you remember the movie I told you to watch after Midway that came out?
Yeah, but I forgot what it was.
I forgot the name of it, but you should watch it. Anyways,
yeah, I did find there was an old one back in like 1980s or something that was about it.
That's more accurate, I hear. But
but at the same time, I feel like it would be skewed
right.
just to how Hollywood was back then. So anyways, like this I thought was great just because it showed both perspectives, which I'm not sure if that one will. I will check it out for sure.
Yeah.
But like that's something you don't really consider as much usually. Like when you just read history and stuff, you're just like, oh, this is the U.S. story, and
Yeah.
like you don't see a whole lot of what happened with
Right.
Japan and the fact that we actually did go and bomb them
Right.
in the middle of the whole like war that was going on, and just how scary that was for them.
Yeah.
You know. And,
oh my gosh. I got
Yeah.
sorry.
So. It
Yeah,
was
so
huge for me.
midway for you then. I might check it out one day, maybe on Blu-ray. Okay, so what number are we on?
6.
6. 6 is actually much higher than you guys for me, which was Knives Out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I have ever. I'm trying to think another murder mystery like this movie. I can't even remember the last
I
time.
can't even think. I think of several books that are like this that are
Like
really
Agatha Christie and things like that,
the
but
Westingame.
Clue.
Clue.
Yeah, but the movie just delivers something we just don't get in today's cinema, and it delivers it so freaking well.
So good.
And there are things that I don't like about this movie, but they all trump the idea that the acting, the writing, everybody is just so good in this movie. Whether they had a small part or a large part, it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was totally, and like that the whole immigrant story of this girl who's an immigrant who's just like, and they all treat her so badly, and then like, just everything, like, Ford versus Ferrari in this movie has that thing where you just want to lift your fist up and go, yeah!
Right.
And you gotta see this movie with an audience. I feel like you really have to go to the movies and see a movie like this, because I don't think it's really made for like at home. Not that you wouldn't enjoy it.
I think you'll still enjoy it at home.
You'd still enjoy it, but or like if you sign with your family
friends,
or with your friends, I think it'd just be that experience. So yeah, I think Daniel Craig's crazy over the top accent and how cartoony. A hole in another donut. Like just so many things about this movie, and then of course,
see this one again.
And then Captain America, Chris, eat shit. Eat shit, eat shit, eat shit.
You definitely eat shit.
And then Richard jumps in the car and he's like, I think this is the best thing that could have happened to you guys. And he feels, oh my God, there's so many things about this movie that are just so good.
Fantastic cast, star-studded cast.
Oh yeah, maybe I should have put it higher now that I think about it.
Yeah, me too. Probably should have put it higher.
All right, that's me for Knives Out, number 6. What do you got, Shannon, for number 5?
All right, number 5 is gonna surprise you guys. Dora the Explorer.
That doesn't surprise me at all, actually.
It doesn't surprise me either, but
it's gonna surprise some of them though.
I'm glad it's on somebody's list.
I enjoyed it.
It was good.
I loved Dora the Explorer, you guys. I had so much fun at this movie. Way more than any other movie I saw this year.
Yeah.
I laughed every 2 seconds. I was dying laughing. You guys were both dying laughing. My friends
It
dying
was pretty funny.
That's true.
I told my boss, who's my age, to watch it. He and his brother both loved it. This movie is just hysterical. I grew up with the cartoon. I watched that cartoon day in and day out. I was way too old for it, but my sisters would play it. So this movie for me was like, yes, make fun of this stupid show. Make fun of it and get all the jokes of it. They got every joke out of that show that you possibly could. And then it was so bizarre. It was just so weird. And everybody told Dora that Boots couldn't talk to her, but then they saw Swiper the Fox talking to her, and nobody brings it up in the whole movie. And,
that's true.
And the girl, what was her name?
I have no idea.
The girl who played Dora. Oh my gosh, she just became the character. She was so funny. Yeah. She was so clever.
Yeah, that'd be like her as a teenager, if you ever saw Dora.
Yeah, that would be Dora as a teenager.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And some of the inside jokes they made. This, for me, was like seeing the Brady Bunch movie.
Wasn't she actually in
theaters with an audience? She
was
in Instant Family.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I saw her in that too. Yeah.
And she plays a very different character in Instant Family.
Oh, okay.
You almost forget that she was Dora.
I never seen. Isn't that the Mark Wahlberg movie that everybody talks about?
Yeah, it's like a comedy, but it's a serious comedy.
I heard it's a
Series,
drama.
it's very good. I like
think
the
I
family.
saw it on Amazon
It's by the same
Prime
people
Video.
that did Daddy's Home. It's funny, but it's also serious. Anyway, Dora the Explorer, number 5. If you haven't seen it yet, give it a chance. It's hilarious. We all loved it.
That's true.
It is. I've never seen Dora once, and I was laughing, so that tells
It's
you.
Yeah.
hilarious.
All right, George, number 5 for you.
All right, for me, it was Angel Has Fallen.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. Okay.
Never saw
That
it.
still probably ranks as my top, like, action movie of the year.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why that's up there.
The forest scene is still stays with me.
Yeah, that was so funny.
It's-
like he's over there trying to run away, and his dad's like, no, come back here. You're gonna get yourself killed.
And the
He's
ending
like-
is so good. It's like, oh, we're gonna go to the spa. It's like, I'm gonna take a piss in here.
I don't know what you guys
That
are talking
was so
about, but
funny.
I guess it was funny.
And then
Nick,
that was so
I'll-
good.
Nick Nolte plays the dad. Nick Nolte has to sound like this. He's just very like a lung cancer.
He's in the Mandalorian, right?
He's
Yeah.
the man.
He's the
This is the way.
I have
the
spoken.
I have spoken.
I have spoken
Okay,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah,
God, that ending. Okay, anyways, I can't ruin it. You guys have to watch
Yeah,
the last episode.
I've seen it.
You've seen the last episode?
Yes,
Oh,
I've seen it. It's
oh.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil
It's
it.
my
Don't spoil
heart.
it.
I
Don't
know.
spoil it.
It's
No
crushing.
spoilers.
My
No
Okay.
heart.
spoilers for Mandalorian.
All I said was
Number-
my heart. Calm down over there.
Number 5.
No, he's not. Are you done?
Baby Yoda. I'm sorry.
So wait, is that
Yeah, that was it for.
Okay. I don't
Angel
even
Has
know what my
Fallen.
number 5 is. Oh, number 5. Okay, is The Irishman. I love this movie.
Have not seen it yet.
Gosh. Okay.
That was good.
3 hours is a lot.
Forget
Yeah.
all that. I don't even care. Like, the point is, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
God, what's his name from Home Alone? And he played
Home Alone.
the bad criminal. Oh gosh, what's his name?
I can't remember.
He's in this?
Yeah.
The bad guys from Home Alone are in this.
Oh
It's
my gosh.
serious.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. I am so sorry I forgot his name. Irishman cast. Sorry, I'm doing it really fast. Oh, Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci.
I don't know.
He's noble. He's one of the criminals, the short criminal.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And oh my god, the cast, the writing, the Everybody Loves Raymond guy just popping up everywhere. It's my favorite part. Raymond's in it, and Raymond's brother is in
Oh,
it.
yeah.
The
That makes sense because Raymond was in the O.J. Simpson trial Netflix series.
oh, I didn't know that.
He played Kardashian.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's how they got famous, right? He
Yeah.
was the lawyer for O.J. Simpson.
Mhm.
Okay, just Jimmy Hoffa. Al Pacino is so freaking good in this movie. I have watched videos of Jimmy Hoffa, and then you play him with Al Pacino playing Jimmy Hoffa, and
it's-
what,
yeah.
and what, just the. He's
Al
so charismatic.
Pacino.
Oh my god!
Al Pacino can play any mob boss, like any
Oh,
mob boss.
that's so
oh
good.
my goodness, he's so
And-
amazing.
Just having Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, and Al Pacino in the same room, acting it up, like, they're so good. It's so
Yeah.
believable. And Robert De Niro's ending is just so, like, you just feel it. Like, I sympathize so much with his character, like, who he was, what he went through, and just, he's trying to, like, reconnect with his daughters. Oh my god, like, everything about it is just, like, it's just so perfect. I love Detroit, and Detroit looks so beautiful. I love New York and Brooklyn and
Do they film in Detroit?
New Jersey. Yeah, they filmed in Detroit.
Oh, sweet.
The neighborhood's the same. The house, I don't know if the house is the same. That'd be a good question. But I do know they shot it. It's just, if you love history, if you love
I do.
The Godfather, Goodfellas, Casino, like The Departed, if any of those movies sound like something you like, you need to go on to Netflix and watch this movie right now. It is a slow burn, and
It's
but
good though.
each
I
all the
have
way
to
through.
watch it. My grandfather knew Jimmy Hoffa,
gosh, it's
so I
so
have
good.
to see it. Being a Detroiter, I have to see this movie.
If you're just watching it from the history perspective,
Yeah.
even the slow moments feel like they're alive.
Okay.
Meaning it's like, it's boring, but it's not boring. And each
Because the acting's
scene,
still good.
oh god, yeah, and
so
like just every scene has a purpose. Everything leads to that final moment of the last 30 minutes. And the last 30 minutes, I was like gripping my chair. I didn't know what was gonna happen, how it was gonna go down. We know Jimmy Hoffa. I don't know if they ever found out who killed him or what happened, and there's just so much controversy. But the way that movie filmed it, I was like, my palms were sweating the last 45 minutes. I just felt everything that movie set up hit that last 30 minutes, because all those slow moments, all those key moments where they're just in a room talking, like literally just every scene has a purpose. There's a really great scene with Al Pacino, and he's in jail, and that guy comes and he's sitting with them. Yeah. And then he just smacks Al Pacino, and then Al Pacino's like, I'm done with this dude. Like, I'm never gonna like work with him. And all that leads to, of course, the finale. Yeah. Every single scene in that movie has a purpose. God, I'm just so excited talking about it, because I think like, if you love film, if you love film history, if you love good acting, you have to see The Irishman. And that's just all I'm gonna say. Anyways, that was my number 5.
Number
that
4?
Was number. Are we on number 4 now?
Yeah,
we're
number
4.
Okay.
Number 4, Hustlers.
Yeah.
Okay,
really, so I thought I thought I was the only
really high on my list. No, I loved
number 4.
Hustlers. I wasn't sure what to expect when I went into this movie. It has a lot more like nudity than I usually would watch in some movies, but it's all done really tastefully, and it's all for a purpose. Yeah, mostly. It's not gratuitous.
It's not a kids movie. You know what you're walking into, but it has a purpose.
I'd say like 21 and up, bare minimum, to see this movie, but it's done with a purpose, and when it shows you something, it shows it to you for a reason, and it makes you really feel for these women. I thought that it was great. I really, really like biopics. I like the where it dives into a historical true story, and it gives you the person that lived through it, their perspective, and then what they were feeling, what they were going through. I love stuff like that. Have you guys seen The Big Short?
Yeah.
This was like
gosh,
the female
that
version
was
of Big Short.
amazing.
Yeah.
When I watched The Big Short, holy crap, that blew Hustlers out of the water, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so,
I loved Big
like,
Short, and
so much.
I felt like
it
Hustlers
blew my mind.
I felt like Hustlers did the same thing with a female cast.
Yeah.
And then also, have you guys seen
and a
Molly's
different
Game?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Loved Molly's Game.
I think she should have won the Oscar, because she does such a good job as Molly.
Yeah, she
Forgot
really
her
did.
name. She's in X-Men. She plays the alien. Gosh, she's in so many movies. What's her actress's name? Anyways.
Yeah, but I felt like Big Short, Molly's Game, Hustlers, those movies all kind of go together.
Yeah.
I Tonya a little bit too.
What's The Big Short about? I've heard of it, but I don't remember.
It's amazing. It's about the
it's so good. It's about
the guys who ended up actually making a profit off the banks.
Oh, the Recession movie with Brad Pitt.
Yes.
And Steve Carell.
With the
okay.
lady in the
my
bathtub
gosh.
I love what's his face in that movie.
Not Steve
God,
Carell.
what's the famous actor who's gosh?
I don't remember. It's been
Brad
so long
Pitt.
since I've seen it.
I'm trying to think which one. There's
Hustlers.
like 4. Oh, the one who was in Ford vs Ferrari. Who is it?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
But there's
right?
one more. He's like he was in Blade Runner. He was in
Blade Runner. You're right.
What's his actor's name? Why am I forgetting his name?
Oh, he's also in what's that one? The Notebook.
The
He's
Notebook.
also in The Notebook.
What's the actor's name?
I'm trying to remember.
He's so famous.
He is.
Anyways.
The one that all the girls fall in love with.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's so good at that movie.
Ladies, I know you know what his name is. It's on the tip of my tongue.
It doesn't matter.
Put it in the comments.
He's my favorite actor in that movie, because he goes into the bathroom and he tells
He just starts cussing.
Get out. And he's like, okay. Zip.
And then wasn't there was another scene, wasn't there, where there was like a guy still in the stall, and the guy comes
like,
out
get
and
out.
looks at him, and he's just like
and he just looks at him and gives him like, get out. And it's just like, he's so
Such
over the top.
good banker.
Yeah. Anyways, Hustlers. Yeah.
So good.
So Hustlers did what Big Short did, and we just did it with women. It's also a true story in the same time period.
It's
Close
not
to the same time
at all
period.
quite the same as The Big
It's
Short.
like 2010.
It's not about the recession, but it takes place during the
Yeah,
recession.
they both take
While
place
The Big Short
during
is about the recession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just love stuff like that. I like when
Yeah.
you can tell
Yeah.
a true story with history and make it entertaining.
I
It was bright, it was colorful, it had dancing, it had singing, it had a ton of cameos. Great movie.
Usher. Sorry.
Usher! And
What
Lizzo's
cracks-
in
What's
it.
your? I love
What
when
cracks
J
me
Lo
up?
just like, "What's your name, baby?" Is like Usher, and then she just starts laughing. They're
Yeah.
like, they weren't even acting. They're
no,
just like,
they weren't.
they're famous singers who were just probably just friends, and it was just
Yeah,
it was
that
such an over the top scene.
hilarious.
But yeah, Hustlers. All right, George,
Oh, shit.
number 5. What you got for us?
All right, for number 5, this is number 5.
What were you on?
No, we're on 4.
4. Sorry.
We're on 4. Let me make sure I'm actually on number 4. Yeah, okay. So for me, number 4, Avengers Endgame.
Oh.
So,
Make my list.
oh man. Well, yeah. So for that, I was the culmination of a great universe. So yeah, that was basically.
It's the culmination
It
of
needs
22
no
movies, 10
explanation.
years.
Exactly.
I mean, will
Mic drop.
we ever? Yeah.
No,
just-
we won't ever see anything like it again.
Yeah, I don't know if we will. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I
But
don't think
anyways,
so.
yeah. That's
It was like that would
combination
go
of
as
20 movies,
it's
arc
gonna
endings
probably
for so many
go
characters.
down as one of the best movies of all
Yeah,
time,
probably
just
will.
because it was so many movies like condensed
was-
into one.
it
Like
really
how many
was-
casts?
yeah.
Think about it. You just so much, just boom into
Right,
one movie. It
right.
was amazing.
Somebody's gonna try and replicate it. And it won't
Well,
be
of
as good.
course, but
They're gonna have so many
It'll be a
rip-offs,
long time
spin-offs,
before
whatever
it.
they
And
are.
We already have Justice League.
well, Marvel's already setting up like, another like big
Universe.
like arc,
Justice
yeah.
League came out though before
Avengers.
that, and it
yeah.
wasn't gonna be that big, and the next
No.
one's not even gonna be that big. None of them
No.
are really ever gonna match up to it.
Yeah.
Though, but with Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and if they get Superman back, I think that trio could really do some damage.
Oh yeah, but
Because
it's
Aquaman
never
made over
gonna.
$1 billion. Wonder Woman's gonna do huge. Now, Wonder Woman is such a good movie.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say it's better than Joker. I think Wonder Woman was just phenomenal filmmaking. Like
It was good. Yeah.
it was so good. And
I had like 1 or 2 issues with it though. With Joker, I didn't really have any issues.
really okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, I know what you mean. It is the culmination of so many movies and this universe that was created by Marvel, and all these characters to come together in one big movie.
It is
Yeah.
amazing that they ever even pulled this off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just that reason alone. Yeah. All right. For me, number 4. What did I have for number 4? Okay, I just want to say all of these movies that I put in 5, I really don't have a reason. They could all be number 1 in my book. So Irishman could have been number 1. I just had to pick one movie. That's the reason. So number 4. We're on 4. Number 4 is actually something that was lower, but in recent weeks, because I've been learning so much, has now jumped up to number 4. And it is now officially
Cats?
my
Just kidding.
Cats. No, it's Star Wars Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, that high, huh?
It is. I had fun watching the movie. I had fun feeling all the emotions and letting the ride of the movie just go right over my head because there was so much
Yeah.
like information dumped.
Yeah.
But ever since this movie has come out, people who have been paying attention have just gone above and beyond to tell you the story of what you're actually watching and not understanding. So check this out.
Okay.
Why is it called The Rise of Skywalker?
Because Rey is a Skywalker and she.
No, she's a Palpatine.
True.
Well, chooses to become a Skywalker. I have no idea what you're gonna
Wrong.
say. Okay.
So, I'm about to blow your mind.
I
You
can
might
already
flip a table.
All right.
So
Ready?
do you remember the scene where Rey dies?
Yeah.
Do you remember Kylo Ren picks her up
Yeah.
and then he puts his hand
Mhm.
on her stomach and gives his life force?
And he's a Skywalker.
And he's a Skywalker.
Oh.
Wait, it gets better. And she is officially, this is official now. Somebody figured it out and wanted a comment. She's pregnant with Ben Skywalker's, and that's how he disappeared. He impregnated
crap.
her,
Wait, what?
and his spirit, like,
Just
yeah. And that's why she chooses, because
Mind blown.
Ben is Leia's son, who is a Skywalker. And Kylo sacrificed himself by impregnating Rey with, with a child that is a Skywalker.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I got one problem with that theory. We see Rey like several months later, and she does not have a belly.
No, that's not months.
Later.
That's
that was literally like right afterwards.
Like
I
a
thought
few
that was
days.
months later.
No, because she left. Like as soon as she got back and they all started celebrating, she just left.
Yeah.
To go back to Tatooine.
Oh, okay.
And she realized what Ben did and why he disappeared and why he gave his life force.
And
So
that
he gave
also
two
would
life forces.
explain why she then says she's a Skywalker.
Exactly, because Palpatine.
Oh my gosh.
Palpatine didn't have sex
Oh
with.
my gosh.
Palpatine created Anakin with his life force. That's the original theory. Nobody knows, but it makes sense because Anakin never had a dad.
That's true.
He just
Man.
And Palpatine explains. Watch Revenge of the Sith again, and he says like where he could give life and live forever. They could actually give life. So what Palpatine is trying to tell Anakin is, I created you, or someone like me with my level of power created you. You didn't have a father, which leads to Anakin being born, which is he is the chosen one, which leads to his grandson, who is Kylo, who Kylo does the same thing like his great grandfather, Anakin Darth Vader, who does it to Rey, and now Rey has a son or daughter that is Skywalker. Thus completing all 9 movies, starting with Palpatine, who shows Anakin. Maybe, possibly, nobody knows, but George was like, it's maybe, you're onto something. Palpatine could have created Anakin from the get-go.
Oh, it does make sense.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow.
Now, for those
That's
who
my
are
fault.
watching this and hearing us geek out about why it's up there, look, you don't have to believe this.
Oh,
you don't have to agree with it.
GeekdomMOVIes. What did you expect?
Yeah.
Right, but yes,
We like to drop mind-blowing things.
Yeah, like I've been doing research on all everything leading up to and all the theories and everything that people have been talking about.
Yeah.
This is the one that is getting the most attention because
I can imagine.
Because it's even in the books talks about when a Jedi dies and wants to he could literally just touch a woman's stomach and just give his life force to create a son or daughter, or other Jedis have done that for thousands of years. It's a lost thing, and there's just so much information that's out there now. Disney's not being very clear about it, but just having Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, right after getting redeemed and putting he could have put his hand anywhere on Rey. He chose to do it exactly like the books, where he touches her stomach.
That's true.
That's a good point.
Not only he gave 2 life force, one to revive Rey, and second to create a continue the Skywalker legacy, because Luke and Leia are now dead, and he should have been the one to continue, and he's redeeming his family line in that moment with Rey.
I have heard people talking about this, and they were talking about how they wanted to make a TV show that was just like Disney's The Descendants, but they wanted to call it The Palpatines.
That sounds so bad. Please don't.
No.
Oh, dying.
No, I feel like
It was
even
a
The
joke.
Descendants was too much.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see that happen.
No.
But anyways, long story short, Rise of Skywalker. I mean, Rey is so good. Daisy Ridley kills it in that role. She is strong but humble. She is she's never prideful. She has all the quintessential.
Quintessential.
Yeah, of what it means to be a Jedi.
Yeah.
Not to go into anger. Not to have hatred.
John Boyega chases her down.
Well, she was protecting him because the wave was gonna crush him, and she was like, "Back off."
Yeah.
So she wasn't trying to hurt him. It is funny though. The name so cracks me up.
Funny.
Friend zone.
That is so good.
But it just and having that moment where Luke training Leia scene so good. Like there's just so many key moments where Luke and Leia are still young, and that scene they look exactly the same. I can't even tell the CGI. I don't know how they did that scene.
They did an amazing job.
Han Solo coming back, and like Kylo getting saved, how Leia saved, like she used her life force to go to Kylo to stop him from killing Rey, which in turn like killed her, but she did it like her sacrifice, which then like Rey stabbing Kylo, which of course then she heals him, and then Han
Solo popping up. Oh my god!
Yeah, like
you guys were
that was like when I heard his voice. Oh my gosh, I was losing it. That's why like you might have heard me. You might have heard me right before they actually showed him.
I think you said, "Oh my god."
I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then that's when like they showed him, and you start. That was so crazy.
I love the small
amazing
moments and the respect they give to C-3PO. This is C-3PO's.
Yeah.
Like he sacrificed himself,
Yeah.
and who C-3PO is, and what he says. Like, I want to remember my friends, and he has that amazing moment with R2-D2 and says like, "You're my best friend."
I've ever had.
Yeah, and Chewbacca getting the medal. It just so many
filled up everything.
Like there's just so, and then like of course Rey saying like she's a Skywalker now with of course the revelation.
That was powerful.
Just everything is just so
you think
so
she's
good.
Gonna say Palpatine and she says Skywalker.
Yeah.
That was powerful.
And all the Jedi names and all. I am all the Sith. Well, I'm all the Jedi, and like you know like Rey just like encompassing all the Jedis and like using the Force, the universal Force, to just take down Palpatine, and Palpatine using all the Siths, and that pivotal moment. Everything is just so. Yes, people will say it's rushed. There should have been a different movie. It doesn't make sense. They don't want to. Whatever. I don't care. This movie is amazing. I love it. I think it's the best Star Wars movie from Disney. The level of like mythology and like little tidbits of like what it could mean for the future of Star Wars is in it, and they did it. And it's not perfect.
I got to go to see Star Wars World at Disney. The Star Wars world that they have created is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that was worth it just to have these movies, even if it just created the theme park.
Right.
The theme park is incredible.
Wow.
And I worked at Disney, so for me to say that means something, because I spent 6 months just exploring all of the parks. And this is by far the best, most immersive theme park they have ever made.
Yeah.
They've truly outdone themselves with this one.
And the weird thing about this movie is it keeps moving up in my list. First it was 10, then it was 6, now it's at 4. It's a movie that does get better the more you watch it. So, anyways, top 3. I can keep talking Star Wars. Number 3, Shannon, what you got?
Peanut Butter Falcon.
No idea what that movie is.
I don't think either of you saw this one, did you?
I didn't. I saw trailers for it. I thought I was gonna watch it, and I didn't.
I think both of you guys would love it. The premise of the movie is that there's a young man he's actually an adult man with Down syndrome, and he has no family and he has nowhere to go, so he's living in a nursing home, and he escapes from this nursing home, and Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades of Grey, but she's a phenomenal actress, and she's actually playing a great character here, along with Shia LaBeouf, are working together to give this boy the experience of his lifetime, because all he's ever wanted is to meet his hero, who's a wrestler, and he wants to wrestle with this guy, and he wants to be called Peanut Butter Falcon as a wrestler. So it's kind of like a modern Mark Twain story, where they're traveling across the country to try and find this wrestler and meet him, and Shia LaBeouf is just incredible. Dakota Johnson, absolutely incredible. The young man who played the man with Down syndrome actually has Down syndrome. They made this movie for him because he'd always wanted to be an actor.
Oh, wow.
You guys would really, really love it.
I'll probably check it out.
You would really love it. I think both of you guys would have put this in your top 10 if you had seen it. Shia LaBeouf's amazing. Dakota Johnson's amazing.
So Shia LaBeouf made 2 movies on
Shia
this.
LaBeouf was on my list twice, and I never cared for
He's
him.
making a third one
I
too.
hated Transformers movies. I did not like him as in Even Stevens. Or
What?
I never liked him until he
did Falcon?
until I saw Peanut Butter Falcon, and then I
You didn't like
understood.
When Eagle Eye?
I never saw Eagle Eye. I don't know
It's
what
really
that is.
It is so
It's
good.
really
It was probably his first good movie.
I hated Transformers movies.
Well,
I mean, the Transformers movies
they-
were never.
they were-
yeah.
they were Transformers movies.
Yeah.
They were
They
supposed to be.
Explosions
not
and
made for
girls.
teenager
They
boys.
were not made for
No,
girls.
yeah, they were.
So I was really
All about
happy
aliens.
to see
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf do such a great job. And actually, Shia LaBeouf credits the man with Down syndrome for the transformation that we see in Honey Boy, where he gets off drugs, where he gets clean, turns his life around, and doesn't kill himself. He credits the man with Down syndrome for helping him get through that.
Wow.
So you saw Peanut Butter Falcon, and then like Honey Boy probably spoke more.
You know what? I think that's probably why you guys weren't as into Honey Boy,
Yeah.
because I got to
It's
see
like,
another
okay.
chapter of
Yeah.
that story before I went in and saw Honey Boy.
Oh, that's interesting to know. All right, number 3, George.
Oh shucks. Hang on. Let me see. Oh yeah, how could I forget this? Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. So, something
really funny.
interesting I heard about
Way higher on your list
With-
than mine.
with this is that apparently John Boyega kind of cut down word about what he was about
Oh, he's
to
a Jedi.
tell Rey.
He's force. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
he's force sensitive,
Yeah.
and
That's what he was gonna
Wait,
tell her
force
before.
sensitive?
yes,
That's what he was gonna tell us. Like, I have something to tell you, like throughout the movie.
and it wasn't that he loved her or anything. It was
He
that
was just that-
he has the force.
He has the force.
Yeah.
So he never got to tell her what he wanted to tell her in the movie?
No,
I-
and he didn't want to. He didn't want to tell her in front of the other guy because that
Oh.
was just weird.
Yeah.
I mean, so
So he
Yeah.
thinks he has the Force?
no, he does.
No, he does
Which
have
one
the
was
force.
John Boyega?
He's the
He's
African
the stormtrooper.
Finn.
Finn? Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. He's the one that was supposed to be in love with her, but wasn't.
But wasn't. Yeah.
I think he. Oh,
He
gosh,
is, but she
He's
never
well. He's
accepts
not
him.
like. He's not like really in love with her. They're really good friends.
Again,
I
yeah.
feel like
there was chemistry, but like
Yeah.
you know, if Rey had her way, it's probably gonna be Kylo.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good, Ben. I should say Ben, not Kylo, because
Mhm.
she's like, I wanted to grab your hand, Ben.
Ben, yeah.
Yeah, not Kylo. So.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And having Palpatine back just makes me laugh because he's so good in Revenge of the Sith. Ian McDermott
Yeah.
is just so phenomenal as Palpatine. It's like him just fighting Yoda. It just cracks me up. They're just throwing saucers at him. And he just like falls. He's like holding onto them, and then he just like falls. Ah! And just, oh gosh, Ian McDermott is like, I am this. Okay, I can keep going. I am the Senate.
it was so funny.
All right, number 3 for me, I guess. Now,
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Little Women.
Oh yes. I
Made
did
it.
not see that one yet.
Saw it a week ago. Jumped on my list immediately.
You've seen it 3 times in 1 week.
No, I've seen it twice. I want to see it 3 times. I want to go with you guys to watch it because it's so good. I just want to watch
Alright.
I
it.
am very excited to see it based
Um,
on your review. I've
God,
also your
I-
review.
God, I love this.
Your review.
This movie is so entertaining. It is. I'm like,
The
oh,
book is boring as all get up.
I don't care
Never
about the
been
book.
able
It
to
doesn't
get
even
through
matter.
The book as a
The
kid.
the cinematography, the acting and direction, the music, the how hard they work to
Mhm.
make it into 1800 Massachusetts and
They
actually
actually filmed it all in Massachusetts.
yeah, and they retouched, redid
Yeah.
everything. It took years to really get like a whole town. And just the level, like you are watching, you're like, it literally feels like you're going back in time, and you don't once believe this was set like in today's time. You literally believe you're watching a movie's back in the day. That's how detailed the costumes, the sets, the just everything about this movie is so, there's some really artistic choices in the movie, like how it kind of plays out and how these sisters interact with one each other. Like it just like a lot of people are saying like this puts the book like it just crushes the book. Like, this is the first movie you will say it's better than the book.
Well, the book's terrible. The book is so
I like the
boring.
book.
And the book is not terrible.
It's a classic, but like Mark Twain said,
It's like Lord of the Rings, one of the greatest books, but no one reads
classics
it.
are books everyone talks about and no one reads.
No, I've read a lot of classic
that's
stories.
a Mark Twain quote.
I read Mark Twain.
Did you
I
read
love Mark Twain.
Did you read them because school made you read them?
Yes, I mean, like,
didn't.
Okay, well,
I just read them because I
like
loved
the
reading
books.
at that time.
Yeah. Like
I love reading too. I could never get into.
I
them.
love Lord of the Rings, and I know people say it's a slow burn and it just takes forever, but they're
I'd
so
probably
good.
love to read it.
You should read it.
What
You
which
should-
one?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I could never get into that either.
Should I read it before I finish watching it?
Have you never seen Lord of the Rings?
I don't think I've watched it all the way through. I never watched the second and the third.
You should read the books. They
Read
make
the
the
books.
movies better. Yeah,
Okay.
trust me on that. But yeah, like Little Women. Oh my God, this is such a amazing, talented cast. The girls are phenomenal. The amount of like things you feel while watching, you'll cry, you'll laugh, you'll feel touched, you'll just. It's a tour de force. Like it's just a movie that you literally, as the movie's progressing, you fall more and more in love with these characters, and it is so well. And just you can tell these people love the book,
Yeah.
and they really wanted to go out of their way.
They're all great actresses that are.
Oh
playing.
my gosh! And the cinematography, gosh, you guys have to just watch scenes. They're just scenes
I'm
where
very
I.
excited to see it.
The first time I saw it, there were parts where I just stopped listening to what they were saying because it was just so engrossing. Like I'm just like watching the movie and just watching the sets and the design, and I forgot to pay attention to what's actually happening in the scene. I don't know if I've ever done that where I'm watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I might have done that actually.
Yeah.
Where just like I'm
I know it.
engrossed by just the magic of the camera and just the like that's what movies are supposed to do. Like if this movie does not win best cinematography, best set, best costume, best music, oh God, like Little Women is just
against Once Upon a Time in Hollywood too.
they're
Don't
they're
forget.
neck to neck, man. Like
It's gonna be tough.
Little Women and like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood are one of those movies that I'm just gonna mute it and just let it just play in the background and just be like engrossed
Screensaver.
by yeah, like it's that good. It is. I am floored by. And then I was like, am I losing my mind here? So like I didn't check reviews. It was just something that me and Stephanie wanted to go see at the time, and I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. I'm not even gonna like this movie. I came out. I'm like, oh my God, like I love this movie. And I was like, am I losing my mind? Like, I feel like I'm losing my mind. There's no way I should love this movie. I went online, and guys, men were like, you need to go watch Little Woman. This is the just the way they shot this movie.
I can't
like,
wait to see it. Just based on your review, I can't wait to
oh
see
my
it.
gosh, like, I can't
trailer
watch it
did
for the
look
third
really
time.
good.
We should go see it this week. And
Yeah,
just so I can,
yeah.
just so somebody just understands that
Okay.
I'm not losing my mind here. Okay, number
I
3,
believe
Little
you.
Woman. Okay. Number 2.
Oh.
Number 2. Wow.
Number 2. Well, I had a really hard time not putting this as number 1. I've been going back and forth all day.
Same here. My top 5
my
can
top
just
2
change
are
anytime.
so close together. But Jojo Rabbit. I loved Jojo Rabbit. I thought it was really well acted.
Oh yeah.
Scarlett Johansson melted my heart in this movie, and she doesn't have a very big role, but she melted my heart when she was talking to her son. I think there's something about kids starring in movies that gets to me, because I have Honey Boy on here as well as Jojo Rabbit, which both
Ford
star
versus Ferrari.
little kids. Ford versus Ferrari with Noah Jupe again.
Yeah.
Man, I just loved this movie. I don't remember the name of the little boy who played Jojo, but he did such a phenomenal job. And then the girl who played the little Jewish girl, absolutely phenomenal actress. This puts you in the mindset of
I 100% agree with this review.
what it would be like to live in Germany in the 30s
Oh, yeah.
as a little kid on both sides, both German and Jewish.
Yeah. Jojo Rabbit also has that thing, like with Once Upon a Time,
It's gorgeous to look at.
Yeah, like
It's beautiful to look
it
at.
makes you feel like you're
You're
literally
there.
in history.
Yes,
right?
you feel like you've now lived through 1930s Germany. More so than when I went and visited the Holocaust museums in Germany,
Right.
in Nuremberg, which is
Yeah.
right where this takes place.
Mhm.
More so than that, this movie put me in the shoes of a little boy growing up in
Literally
Germany.
the shoes.
The shoes. And I can't wait to watch it again. I'll watch this movie multiple times, and I don't say that about very many movies.
Yeah. Number 2.
Nice. Oh, okay. For me, actually, I remember this one. Stuber. I know you're gonna hate me for that.
Oh, I did not
I
see that.
knew
I
you guys
knew
would
it
probably
was
hate
gonna
me
be
for that,
on
but
your list. No.
Did you see
But yes.
Kamil? What's the actor's name? The Pakistani guy. Did you see his Marvel workout Instagram post?
No.
I gotta show it to you later. No,
Okay.
just go do your review. I'll show
Okay.
you.
Yeah, with Stuber, it's still. I have to say, I think that movie still had me laughing the most out of any movie I've
I
seen
gotta
this
see
year.
You would like it.
The way you've talked about it.
And
Hello.
It's too good.
It's my favorite moment in any movie. In the history of ever seeing a movie. I did not pay attention for 10 minutes after that speech. I was out. I was passed out.
Gosh. That was. Oh my gosh.
I gotta see it because I don't understand
There's-
any of your references to this movie. And
There are so
they've
many good
been
things in there.
talking about how funny this movie is since it came out like 9 months ago.
He's in a Marvel movie. He's a superhero. This is what he looks like.
Oh, wow.
He's doing the
Oh my gosh, how did he get into that shape?
Go
because
look
he
up,
has to look like
can you
Thor
show the
for.
camera?
Oh, can I?
I think
All
you
right.
probably can.
He's in Stuber. I don't know. He's in the Big Sick. I can't say his. If I can zoom in. Okay. Well, there's a post. His name is Kamil Nanjiani. If he's a pretty famous actor now. He's in the Big Sick and Stuber.
Yeah.
He's playing a superhero, the Eternals. It comes out in November of next year. It's gonna be the big Marvel Avengers movie. It's gonna be huge.
Really?
It's gonna be huge. Yeah,
I'm gonna
Angelina
love
Jolie's a superhero. He plays a superhero. I can't remember anybody
Dang,
else.
that
right
is
now.
great shape. Holy crap.
Well, yeah, you can't play a superhero in a Marvel movie not looking like that. So he was on
That's
a
true.
very strict diet. But yeah, Stuber, yeah.
Wow. I'm so shocked by that. I
Yeah.
mean, seeing what he looked like before in the Big Sick. And
He has more muscles than Chris Hemsworth right now, they said.
yeah,
That's
that's
insane.
what's crazy about
Yeah.
that. Man,
Anyways.
I gotta figure out what diet he's on.
Well, it's called having the best, personal trainers and nutritionists.
No job.
Million
except
dollar,
eating right and working
million
Yeah.
out.
dollar people who can, you
Tell
and me
you
couldn't do that
exactly
because.
what to eat.
Get
Yeah.
jobs and stuff.
And exactly when
Yeah.
and oh
No,
my
he actually says
gosh.
that in his Instagram post. It's going through this workout and process made me realize I could never just do it on my own if it wasn't for all the Disney, Marvel, personal trainer. This is impossible for any regular human being. You can't
it
even
has
do
to
it.
be your full-time job.
Yeah.
Well, because you need the personal trainer and a cook, really. I mean, I don't even think the personal trainer
No.
can do the cooking.
No,
There's
they
just
need
so
to.
much.
They tell you how much to eat, what to eat, when to eat. He said he had to wake up at 2:00 in the morning and eat a bunch of protein at a certain time, and it has to be certain, and then go back to sleep, and then wake up another 3 hours every day just to keep the muscle mass.
Wow.
It's-
Holy crap,
Yeah, and he was working out 4 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
It's not
man!
something you do. You just get up and do. You do it because they're paying you millions of dollars to look like Thor,
Yeah.
to be in a Marvel superhero. So, anyways,
Wow.
he's great in Stuber. I really liked what's his face, Drax.
Yeah. I can't remember his name though.
It's so funny when he posted that the actor who plays Drax is like, oh man, I feel like you could beat me up now.
He almost probably could. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
What a
so-
transformation.
Yeah, so it's really cool, and the movie's great. It's really funny.
Yeah. I love Stuber.
Go check it out. I think the actor who plays Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy and Kumail Nanjiani have really good buddy cop chemistry. Okay, number 2. This is a movie that's just been, like you said, just been neck and neck with number 1, and sometimes I'll be number 1, then I'll be number 2, number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2. So I finally just decided to stick it there because I really
Is it
love my
Jojo
first
Rabbit?
No, Endgame. Avengers
Endgame.
Endgame.
Did not make my list.
The emotional, the culmination of 22 movies and just the massive amount of characters and each getting their time in such a massive movie like this is really unheard of. Like, you know, you had parts that had Guardians, they had Spider-Man, they had Iron Man and Captain America and Nebula. By the way, Nebula plays the chick from Jumanji. That's what she looks like. She's the redhead chick.
Really?
Wait, so she was in Stuber too?
Yeah, that makes sense. It does look like her.
Yeah, she's Nebula.
Oh my gosh!
Anyways,
I did not realize that.
Yeah, just thought I. Anyways, like
She doesn't. Wow.
I've never been personally hurt by a movie before where like I'm actually like literally like my grandfather died.
Yeah.
Or my mom or my sister. Like
that was
watching
like
Iron Man and
heart-wrenching,
Captain America's like crushing ending. Like literally, I think I got depressed for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like knowing
I
that
was
Captain
at least
America,
for a few days.
Oh,
like, it
yeah,
was
just
it hit me hard.
because you at a certain point, like we gotta remember, Iron Man came out 2008. Like
Yeah.
Captain America came out 2009. We're talking 10+ years.
That's half
of
our
like,
life, a third of our
like
life.
it literally just. I'm like, wow, I cannot believe how much these people are part of my life.
And literally, like going into it, those were probably some of the most favorite, like Captain America, but like Iron Man.
You're right.
Iron Man was really like the favorite character in the MCU at the time, and they just going.
And I'm not ready because because they're like, you're gonna, you know how you felt with Iron Man and Captain America and just that. Yeah. I'm not ready for that for Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor because they said like we're not done. Like crushing you and making you cry yet.
Oh my!
We're gonna do that with Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because that'll be the last Guardians movie and last Thor movie.
Star Lord or
I don't know what they're
if they kill off Thor, that's gonna be rough for me. But,
so I mean, they all have to end at some point. They can't. You know, we got the Eternals coming out.
We already killed off
Groot. We've killed off Groot like 3 times now. So.
Yeah, I know. Maybe Spider-Man will end with. Heaven's my home now or something.
Oh my gosh.
Just like go up in the clouds.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, the point is
Jesus.
like
Spider-Man home to Jesus.
Yeah. Home to Jesus. That's really good. Spider-Man home to Jesus.
That's sad.
It's probably the next one after homeless.
Spider-Man called home.
That is too good.
Put your best Spider-Man home puns in the comments below.
Spider-Man called home to Come home to Jesus. Spider-Man. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what I was saying anymore. I've lost. Oh, yes. We were talking about Endgame.
Yeah.
Yes, 22 movies. Watching Endgame. We're never going to have that. I don't think we'll ever get that. That was such a... I don't know when we'll get a... Like a franchise with so many characters. Will we ever... We were watching history. It's probably like...
They're going to try. That's going to be the thing to do for
Yeah, but it's still going to be the first one to do it.
It will be the first one, yeah.
Like, that moment will not... Like, it's probably like how people felt when they watched Star Wars A New Hope in theaters.
Yeah.
Just, like, they were watching, like, cinema history, like, taking place.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't... It was like watching the first Matrix and just being like, oh my god, like... This isn't, or Saving Private. Like sometimes cinema just like it's gonna be part of history. Endgame
That's
will
how I
be.
felt watching Cats.
It was the worst history in at least 10 years, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Or something.
I watched my sister-in-law cat take a poop, and that's what it felt like watching Cats. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Endgame, great movie, deserves to be number 1. Can't wait for. I don't know what Marvel's gonna do next, but God, this year's been so hard because it's the end of Star Wars, it's the end of Endgame, and just so many things are just like coming to a close. Yeah, like it's just I don't know. Anyways, number 2. All right, we're finally at it. We're at number 1.
Number 1, guys.
I have no idea what everybody else's number 1 is, but
I
shut
don't know
it.
either.
What is your number 1?
Once upon a time in Hollywood.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. I had to put it at number 1 of all the movies that I've seen with you guys this year. The one that has stuck with me the most was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The colors, the way it was filmed, the fact that it transported me into the 60s and 70s, the history that it told,
Man, you're gonna
the
love
way
Little
it told
Women.
it. I never cared about the 60s or 70s until I saw this movie.
Yeah.
And now I get it. I get liking the cars. I get liking the music. I get liking the movies. I get it because of Quentin Tarantino. I had never heard of Sharon Tate. I had never heard of Roman Polanski. I'd never heard of the history. So I went into this completely blind and still had a great experience. I really loved watching the way it was filmed, the stunning landscapes, the colors, the cars. Like he said he got sick of watching, Fahad said he got sick of watching Brad Pitt drive cars. And I honestly didn't
Brad
get it.
Pitt
Driving
But
cars.
that's an hour of the film,
that is
and
literally
it never
hour.
gets, and that never gets old for me.
That's gonna be like
I
one of
will
those
watch this
clips they
again.
put on YouTube is like Brad Pitt driving cars, and they're just gonna like make like a 10-hour video
You can
of
have a
it.
whole
It's
hour
like
long
those
screensaver of
YouTube
Brad
like
Pitt
of
driving
fireplaces.
cars.
It's just Brad Pitt driving cars for 2 hours with like background music. Oh my god.
But you know what? They could do it, and it would be freaking great because of the way it's filmed. It's done really well. The plot was interesting. The acting was amazing. I loved the bromance between Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Thought they were
That
just
was amazing.
adorable, and they had
It's
such
over, buddy.
such a they had such a beautiful little like romance there. And then they make history go the way that you wish history had gone. They make history go the way that you wish history had gone. My dad has refused to see it, even though
What? Why?
I know that he'll love it, but he said that he doesn't want to see history mistold because he really,
I get
he
that.
grew up in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah,
so
no,
he loves it.
I get that.
And I keep telling him, no, you're going to love this movie because it feels like you're taking a trip back in time in a time machine, and you're living.
Brad Pitt taking a trip
That was
in a
hilarious.
car in a time machine,
That was
88
hilarious.
miles per hour.
Well, he was that
When he takes the
when he
drug
took the
trip,
other
the
trip,
the
yeah.
acid
That
trip.
was so.
Oh, the
worse.
acid
funny,
trip, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Oh my goodness. And he's like
No, it's,
watching
more,
his
it's like, what's your name again? Satan. No, it was much stupider than that.
Yeah, just it was funny. It was sad. It was heartwarming. It had everything in it that it needed to. Granted, it probably could have had it. It could have been a little shorter. It was like 3 hours long, and I'm not usually one for long movies. But of all the movies I saw this year, that one had the most impact on me. I had to put it above Jojo Rabbit for that reason. This one will stick with me forever. I am never going to forget about Once Upon a Time in
Never
Hollywood.
gonna give you up, Brad Pitt car. Never gonna let you down, Brad Pitt car. All right, George.
All right. So for me, number
Wait.
one.
Oh no, number one. Are we on number one? Did we
We're
do
on number one?
I can't even remember. Number one.
Number one.
We're on number one. So for me.
Muppets Take Manhattan with cats.
Oh man. For me, number one was actually Dr. Sleep.
I completely forgot about that.
It was on my
I
honorable
was
list actually.
so bored. That one went. I fell
So
asleep during
that one was the only reason why I didn't have that at number two instead of number one was because I
What was
I
your
felt
number two
I
again?
really didn't like Dr. Sleep at all.
Stuber.
That's because you were attached to the boy and then he gets murdered. And that just took you out of the movie.
No, it was just
Yeah.
a boring movie.
It
It
was
not a very good
a
movie.
great movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. I mean,
No, I agree with
I
you.
loved it.
Ian McGregor's just a revel. And that girl, oh my god.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Like if
All
they
the
have
way leading up to The
sequels,
Shining.
The girl was a good
I
actress.
want to see any
Yeah.
sequels if they've got them. I want them.
Gosh, that ending is so like just everything. I thought that a hotel was gonna be in it, but it was just so much better
It was
having
so
the ending
much
just
better.
be at the hotel and then like.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great. I loved it. I mean, like they
That's
just
another
they did
honorable
amazing.
mention for me.
I
Yeah.
don't understand at all what you liked about it. I
Because I read the
so
It was
bored.
dark. It was
Well, I've read the
scary.
books.
It was freaky.
The books, okay.
There
that
were
makes
there were
sense.
like
The Fours scene where they're just running around, just like shotgunning those guys, and they just turn to dust.
that
her,
was
like-
oh my goodness.
Her trapping the main girl in her mind.
That
that
was the
was
best
like
part of
that
it.
was so trippy.
That
Oh
was the
my
best
goodness.
part was when she goes into the girl's mind, but that was it. That was the only part I liked.
Okay.
I just like
I disagree with you,
Everything.
but hey, opinions are all subjective, as they say.
yeah.
So yeah,
It
Dr.
was
Sleep.
great.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you. There's just so many good movies I saw this year that I'm just like, I can't.
It's crazy.
Like, I can't.
I couldn't even remember them all. It's
Right.
that's the
Like,
problem.
I really have to go back and be like, what's gonna like be the one, and you just go back and forth. All right, yeah, Dr. Safe. For me, you guys probably figured it out what it's gonna be.
I actually don't know what it's
I
gonna
don't
be.
know.
Is it Jojo Rabbit?
It is Jojo Rabbit.
Oh
Alright.
my goodness.
Gosh, like okay, Ford versus Ferrari.
I
Once
almost
upon-
put it number 1.
like it's I realize what I love, and what I love is Ford versus Ferrari, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Jojo Rabbit, Little Women. What they all have in common is history,
History.
and just watching it come alive in front
Yeah.
of you, like in that detail level. And JoJo does it so good. Ford versus Ferrari did it so, like the cars, like again you mentioned the cars in Ford versus Ferrari, everything
Yeah.
about that, like that time and even the racing
Like,
and the helmets.
You're a time traveler. It's like being in a time machine.
Yeah.
And you go back in time and you experience a part of history.
Yeah, and honestly, like I really do believe Endgame, Little Women, and like Jojo Rabbit all could have they could end up on, they're 10 out of 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all these movies for me are like 10, like 100% 10s, and Jojo Rabbit has comedy. It's not slow like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or like Little Women. It's dark. There's history, but it doesn't. But it's also funny. You're laughing.
Oh yeah.
But then
Really
you're also
funny.
crying.
Yeah.
You're laughing, then crying, then laughing, then crying, then
Yeah.
laughing.
German shepherds.
Yeah. And just yeah, if I could pick a movie that would like really, this has been such a great year for movies. There's just so many like
Been
good
a really
movies.
good year for movies.
I think you guys, I mean, the fact that you guys love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Jojo Rabbit, you gotta check out Little
I'm
Women.
excited to see it.
Yeah. So yeah, Jojo Rabbit, Scarlett Johansson, that scene with the shoelaces and the shoes.
Oh, that was
just-
so sad.
That was-
Oh my
That
God!
sad.
It just like your heart.
Yeah.
Just you feel it, and the boy and the girl are just so, the chemistry between those two young kids is like off the chain, like
Oh yeah.
so well done.
I hope they're both in other movies.
Yeah, and I love that little chubby kid, and he's
Oh.
like,
He was
it's not
so
a very good time to be a Nazi. and the gay whatever like camp leader.
That
it's
was
just
so
everyone-
funny. They were
Go see
going
Jojo
around
Rabbit,
with
please.
like a boombox.
Yeah.
A cape. Oh my
He breaks
word.
my heart where he like takes the jacket off him.
Yeah,
and
and
spits
push-
on him,
yeah.
and pushes him.
Yeah.
It's like, get away from me, Jew, so he doesn't get hurt. Oh my God! And he
Uh-huh.
starts
That was rough.
Gosh, like yeah. It's everything is just like everything is just perfectly made in that movie. Funny story: if you have seen The Mandalorian, the last episode, it was written and directed by Taika Waititi, who wrote and directed Jojo Rabbit.
The last
So-
episode, not John Favreau.
No, it was Taika
The last
Waititi,
episode of Mandalorian?
and written and directed
Really?
by the director of. He played Hitler also in.
Yeah.
in
He does a
Jojo.
great job. Because
Oh, yeah, he
I
killed that
like
episode.
that.
It's a
Oh
good
my
episode.
No
gosh.
spoilers.
So,
Haven't
yeah.
seen it yet.
Well, guys, this is our
Uh-huh.
top 10 list. Happy New Year's.
Thanks for
Happy
being
New
with
Year.
us here.
We're bringing 2019 to a close with Geekdom Movies. Let us know what's your top 10, whether you agree with our list, whether you disagree, whether you think our list is stupid and we should never
No.
review movies again. We don't really care.
Go see Jojo Rabbit.
Just comment and tell us what you think. Go see Jojo Rabbit.
Go see it.
Little Women. Go see all of these
Go
movies.
see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you've all seen Star Wars and Endgame,
Yeah.
but
Go see Hustlers. Go see Dora the Explorer. Go see the ones you haven't seen.
Yeah. Definitely check it out. So let us know what you think. As we bring this to a close, we'll be offering more movies. I want to make a special announcement. I am working towards us getting into early screenings and
Yes.
special screenings for movies. It is slowly but surely happening. There's a lot of red tape,
Mm-hmm.
but our goal is still to hopefully by the end of the year have more like press screenings. We are getting enough views, and we're getting a lot of. Please subscribe. The more
You can help us
subscribe,
out by subscribing.
tell
The more
your
subscribers
friends,
we
tell
have,
your families,
the earlier we can go see movies.
tell your mom, dad, brother, sister, ex-husband, ex-wife, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Cousins,
Tell your
ex-wives.
cat, tell your dogs. Tell them to subscribe. Tell your baby mama. You know, everybody, and you know. Anyways, take care.
Have a great 2020. We'll see you next year.
Yep, and then wait for December 2020 for another top 10. Ah, just kidding. All right, guys, take care. Bye.
Bye.